Math time!
Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about the 6 trigonometric ratios.
Solving a right triangle given the lengths of the two legs.
Solving a right triangle given the length of the two legs. So let's take for example this one. Find the measure of angle N, angle Y, and side B. So from this illustration, we have here segment BY and segment BN as the given. So again, we have here the two legs. These are the legs of triangle BNY, where side B is our hypotenuse. So again, we are asked to find the measure of angle N, angle Y, and of course, our hypotenuse. So to start with, let's have solve first the hypotenuse, the length of the hypotenuse. So in this case, we can make use of the Pythagorean theorem, where it says from the theorem that the square of our hypotenuse represented by B is equal to the sum of the squares of these two legs in here. So we have solve for side B. And to solve, you have therefore B square is equal to this one, Y square plus the N square. So substitution, you would have therefore 10 square plus 12 square. So what is 10 square? That is 100 plus 144. That would give us 244. So are we going to stop it here? No, we're going to take the square root. So our B value would gonna be 2 square root of 61. Or simply, we could have, or using our calculator, so we have square root of 244 is equal to 15.62. So therefore, this is equivalent of 15.62. So again, we have 2 square root of 61. That is just the same thing as 15.62. Okay, so we're done with the side B. So right here, this is 15.62 units. Now let's move on to find the measure of angle N. Okay, solve for measure of angle N. So looking into this illustration, so we have here angle N. So what is the connection with this side in here to that side as well in our angle N? So right here, that side Y is our adjacent side. And of course, this is gonna be our opposite side. So we have the given adjacent and opposite, or opposite and adjacent. So therefore, we'll make use of TOA. Okay, so make use of tangent. So right here, tangent N is equal to opposite over adjacent. So what is the opposite? That is represented by N over the adjacent represented by Y. So as we substitute, that is tangent N is equal to, N is 12 over 10. Okay, so therefore, since we're looking for the measure of angle N, so we have to transfer tangent on the other side. So that would be an inverse. So shall we have it here? N is equal to tangent inverse tan. Okay, that is 12 over 10. So making use of your calculator, so you have to press shift, then tangent. So as you can see in here, we have the negative sign at the top of the tangent. And then make use of the parentheses, 12 divided by 10. Then close, and that's the answer. So our measure of angle N therefore is equal to, that is 50.19 degrees. So that's the measure of angle N. Okay, so let's move on to the measure of angle Y. So do not make use of what is you have solved. Instead, you make use of what is given. So shall we have it here? So solve for measure of angle y. So to solve for the measure of angle y, now take note, here is the angle, and how do we call then side y? So that is opposite. And side n would gonna be our adjacent side. So therefore, we still make use of TOA. Okay. So meaning tangent y is equal to the opposite represented by y, then adjacent that is represented by n. So by substitution, you would have tangent y is equal to side y is 10 over 12. Okay, so since we're looking for the measure of angle y, so therefore we have measure of angle y is equal to the inverse 10. Okay, 10 over 12. So by using your calculator, therefore you have shift tangent open, then 10 divided by 12, then close, equals. So that is equivalent of 39 point, okay, that is 39.81 degrees. So that's the measure of angle y. Okay, there you go. So as you can see, as again, for you to check if it is correct, that the measure of angle N plus the measure of angle B plus the measure of angle Y is equal to 180 degrees as the totality measure of the angles of a triangle. And since we already have 90 degrees, so meaning to say angle Y and angle N are complementary angles. They measure 90 degrees. So if we're going to check based from our solution that the angle N and angle Y should gonna be equal to 90 degrees. So to check, we have 50 point, you have the here 19 plus this one 39, okay, plus 39.81. So it should be equivalent of 90 degrees. So let's check. Alright, so they are equal to 90 degrees. They are complementary angles. So we are correct with our solution that measure of angle N is really 50.19 degrees while measure of angle Y is 39.81 degrees. Now let's move on to the second problem. In the given triangle SPA, find the measure of angle S, angle A, and the length of the hypotenuse based from this illustration. Okay, so we have here SPA, where angle P is our right angle. So we are asked to find the measure of angle S, measure of angle A, and of course the hypotenuse. So of course, if you talk about hypotenuse, it's always the side opposite to our right angle. So since this is the right angle, therefore this would be the side that is opposite to that one. So this would gonna be the hypotenuse that we are looking for. Alright, so to solve, again, we have to make use of the Pythagorean theorem. So solve for P. Okay, so to solve, you have there P square is equal to, this is gonna be A, so meaning this is side A. So A square, and this one is side S. So S square. Substitute, that is 14.2 square. Okay, plus the side S is 18.5 square. So when you simplify, what is 14.2 square? That is 20, let me check. Okay, so we have 14.2 then square. That is 201.64 plus what is 18.5 square. So that is 342.25. So combining them together plus 201.64, that is equivalent of 543.89. So right here we have P square, take the square root. So answer So you have then P is equal to 23.32. That's the length of our side P. Okay? So if that would be our side P, then we are also asked here that the measure of angle S. So solve for this one. So solve for measure of angle S. To solve for the measure of angle S, make use of what is given, the 14.2 and 18.5. So, meaning, 14.2, that is our adjacent, and 18.5 is our opposite. So, we'll make use of TOA. Okay, TOA. Alright, so meaning tangent S is equal to the opposite, that is 14.2. Wait for a moment. Okay, for a moment. It's not 14.2. That's 18. Okay. So that is 18.5. That's the opposite. Okay. Over the adjacent. So that is 14.2. So what is then the measure of angle S? So transfer tangent to the other side. That would becomes side S is equal to inverse tan of 18.5 divided by 14.2. So right here, okay, so shift tangent, open, then 18.5 divided by 14.2, then close. Okay, so meaning to say, the measure of angle S is equal to how much? That is 52.49 degrees. Okay. Is that clear? Alright. Let's move on to the measure of angle A. So again, we'll make use of the TOA. So opposite over adjacent. So for solution C, solve for measure of angle A. So for the measure of angle A, you have TOA. So tangent A is equal to the opposite, that is 14.2 over 18.5. So A, therefore, inverse tan, that is 14.2 over 18.5. Okay, make sure that you have to make use of the parentheses for you to have the exact value. So in our calculator, using our calculator, shift tangent, open, then 14.2 divided by 18.5. Oh, wait for a moment. 18.5. There you go. So the answer is 37.51. Okay, since 8 rounded up to 2 decimal places, so that is 37.51 degrees. That's the measure of angle A. Okay, so to check once again, if these two solutions are correct, make sure that these two are equal to 90 degrees. So to check, we have 52.49, okay, plus you have 37.51. 37.51. So it should be, it comes up with 90. Alright, so we are correct. That these two measures here, the measure of angle S is 52.49 and measure of angle A is 37.51. Okay, so again, that's it. Alright.